Buddy, okay, new surroundings. Let's see if Susan decides to grace us with notifications. I'm gonna say that's asking a little too much. Hey, Wolverine. Willie's in, and Connor. Okay, maybe a notification or two might have gone out. Alucard's in. I'm gonna have to figure out what to how. Yeah, the new room. I will give you guys, Alucard and everybody, of course. I'll give you guys a room tour and a house tour in an upcoming video. Yeah, we're really, really pleased with the place. And then I'll get into all of it today. There's a whole long story about how we ended up in this room. This is not the room we had all picked out during the live stream when I had come down here to check things out weeks ago. You got a notification, Zero? All right, that's Susan. Like I say, Susan apologizes. She didn't mean to. Oh, Jeremiah. Okay, good to see you again, pal. The thief. So we'll be getting everything back to normal now. As you Gooshers know, the Goosh has been running, as always, other than me not being able to comment as often as I'd like. But the videos have been posting as usual. I ran out of vids for the YouTube channel, and then when I had the issues here in getting everything set up, that put me back a couple days. So coming up, we'll have, I know a lot of you have been asking about more episodes of, that thing, Avatar. And, the usual stuff will be back. Well, thanks, Francisco. But I will do a video giving you guys a tour around that. As you can see, I'm still just setting up. And now these pops back here, this was a pop lineup that was strictly random. I've got a couple, obviously, totes full of the pops. So I decided I took one of the totes, and I said, whichever ones I grab first, get the initial spot. So here's who made the lucky cut. Pretty good rogues gallery, I think. Thanks, Zero. I appreciate that. Oh, yeah, it's still weird. Yeah, right now. And as I said, as the days go, you'll see things will fill in. I'll get all the stuff back up on our shelves. I've got the blue lights that I want to put surrounding the shelves that we used to have before and everything. So all that stuff will get put up. Oh, you know what? I don't even have my headset on, so I can hear. I haven't unpacked my wireless yet to figure out where that is. It's amazing how much crap you have. You don't realize it until you move. And now finding it all again is nuts. Well, the ninja thing does take up a good little bit of my time. And my wife apparently doesn't think I'm a real ninja, but it just proves that she doesn't know what she's talking about. Em says, you're going to paint the walls blue too? I don't think the guy who owns the house would care for that. Yeah, I'm still working on getting the lighting just how I want it. Of course, it'll change too, Chrome, as I fill in more of the stuff in the back and I put the blue lights around the shelves and everything. That'll all change the lighting. But I'll keep try and keep up with it so it's not too heinous. I never try and make, even though, the connection we have here is insane. So I can send out a signal of any quality and you guys will get it buffer free. But you don't want it to be too fine when you're dealing with this face. Willie says, working on cheat sheet version 2 for Honey Pop. Anyone got suggestion on what to add? Also, I'm the boss, baby. Oh yeah, you just I didn't even notice that. You're right. And you reaffirmed your bossness. you now would be a good time to insert ads. Now Susan's doing that. I've never seen this before, you guys. On my dashboard, my YouTube dashboard, because on one screen I have the YouTube dashboard, the other screen I have Streamlabs. Now would be a good time to insert ads. Creators earn more money inserting ads the more viewers are watching. Give it a try. Susan shows up when it's time to try and get paid. I just started reading something about the info dump from Hunter Biden's laptop, Chrome. It's been, well, I'm sure you can imagine, it's been nuts. So I've had little time to keep up on things. And right before I started this stream, I saw Hunter Biden was trending once again on Twitter. And I see that, what was it, somebody at 4chan got into the cloud, his cloud, and got some text messages or something. Yeah, I'm gonna read up on it. Wolverine says, on your wife's phone, change your contact to Weeb. She won't even know what that means, Wolverine. She'll have no idea what that is. Well, thanks, Dylan. I like putting up talking about the thumbnails for the streams. When it's just random chat like this, I just like to put up something. And of course, now with Spaz Kid being out on his own and everything, I get nostalgic. So I like to post some of the old pictures. I'm loving it so far, Morgan. I tell you guys, because, and I mean this sincerely, you guys, outside of a handful, very small handful of people that I have in day-to-day life, you guys are my closest friends. And I wish so much we're actual physical friends where I could share stuff with you, because we found a place. I don't know how many of you guys are into shaved ice, but I've been a fanatic for it since I was a little kid. That was like one of my favorite things. You know, the ice cream man would come around. The other kids would get the ice cream cones and the little sundaes and the cups. I would get shaved ice. I loved it. There's a place right just around the corner from us. It's a whole chain now. It's called Pelican's Snowballs. First, I thought it was Pelican balls. I'm like, yeah, fucking sign me up. I want some Pelican balls. But it turns out that it's kind of a shaved ice, but somehow they get the texture to match that of a snowball. You know, it'll pack and everything. I can't describe how good it is. They have like 100 different flavors. It's so fucking good. And I just wish there was a way we could share it. Talking about Hunter. 350 to 450 gigs? Wow. Of data, including audio and video. Tons of crack smoking and deprivation tanks. Is listed Joe as Pedo Pete in his contacts. He hates Jill. I had heard rumors that he hates Jill. Shaved ice is good. We have a few places here for that. Do you, Em? Oh, this place, I so wish I could share it with you guys. Cool Whip says the shaved ice basically a slushy. I'm British. More solid than a slushy, whereas a slushy I think is more liquid with some ice in it. This is ice with flavoring on the ice, if that makes any sense. It's similar to a slushy, but like I say, it's kind of reversed. The slushy is very liquefied and has the ice crystals. This is the ice, or in this case, the snow, with the flavors on top of it. Edgar, good to see you, pal. He says, I like shaved ice, but with bad for you flavored dye syrup. Yeah, oh yeah. Definitely bad for you. It's not going to slow me up, but yeah. It's called Snow. Yeah, I've never had them like this place makes them. And the food has been phenomenal. Just because I think this area is growing so quickly, this area that we're in, there's just a little bit of everything around because every type of business is springing up here, and a wide variety of them, restaurants, so on and so forth. Jake says, are they called shaved ice? I was just going to say, classically, they're always called snow cones. Same thing. Yeah, as you said. I've always called them snow cones. My Little League had snow cones, which was a nice treat after games. Yeah, same thing, Jake. Exact same thing. And Chrome says, apparently Jill wants absolutely nothing to do with him, and he cries about it. Also, it's pretty much all but proved that Joe knew and was complicit in Hunter's Ukraine dealings. Well, that's the thing. Isn't it interesting how when these things take place and you see all this mountain of evidence, how slow... I don't know. Can you say the process is moving slow? This process has stopped. It seems like with anybody looking into any of it. North Carolina, am up in the Lake Norman area. It's northwest of Charlotte. Excuse me, by about 15 miles. Barry says, it was either last night or this morning that a video of Hunter Biden weighing crack on a portable scale on the company of a hooker came out. That's what, Barry, that's what Chrome was saying. I guess some guys at, or some people at 4chan uncovered a bunch of materials on, again, apparently on a cloud server he was using. M says, "Oh, cool. I have family there, but I don't know them." I have some family like that around the country that I don't really know. Slick Rob says, "Hello, Curtis. How long before you scare off the neighbors with the appearance of Golden?" I know. Oh, this neighborhood is so not ready for Golden. It's a very nice neighborhood. Don't get me wrong, but that's just it. It's very nice. Everybody is just. It's more of that southern feel, and everybody's over the top friendly, and you go outside and people walking their dogs, and everybody says hi and everything. So, yeah, yeah, Golden showing up would kind of stick out here. Indo says, "Hey Curtis, do you know that like a good neighbor, State Farm is there?" I do. I've had State Farm for 1984, 38 years now. So, yep, I do. Yeah, Hunter knows how to party, Tsunami, no doubt. Yeah, Rose, in that region. Yeah, Gastonia through Charlotte. Yep. Oh, Zuchen says, "Which room are you in?" Okay, let me explain to you guys what happened. Now, for those of you who were in the stream before, when I'd come down here before to check everything out, we had seen that there were only 2 existing internet lines coming in, or I'm sorry, cable lines coming in. So the discussion was, I was initially going to put the studio in the big room downstairs, but that didn't have a direct line. So I decided, well, and you guys helped me decide, the smaller room was still plenty big enough, and it had the cable ready. So obviously the signal will be a lot faster than working off a Wi-Fi. So I said, let's do that. So I got it set up, and I had everything set up, put in place, not everything put together, fortunately, in that room. And I was having trouble getting the modem to work. So I called Spectrum. They said, yeah, we'll send somebody out because you're all set. We don't know why it's not working. Long story short, that cable to that room was bad. I thought that was going to be a major problem because I wasn't going to be able to upload videos or anything. But come to find out, there were more cable outlets. They had just been, had put blank plates in front of them. So now this room is the upstairs that I told you guys about that was going to be a guest room. This one had a good, strong, solid cable. I said, listen, I'm just going to have to revamp the way we're doing things in the house. The guest room will have to go downstairs. I'll have to come upstairs because I want to have that signal strength. And we've got the primo room here. Let me tell you guys, I'll get everything set up and I'll show it to you. We've got plenty of room to do whatever needs. And there's a closet here, and that will be strictly for bad touch. Just so you know, if you've been to the closet, you're going to be lucky. You're going to be one of the lucky ones. But yes, so we are now upstairs. And I did a speed test just before we came on because I wanted to see. We had 670 something download and 43 upload. So needless to say, I set everything as far as video, whatever we do will be set to full 920, 1080. We could send out 4K if we wanted. Tsunami says right-wingers are still running their cock holsters about Hunter's laptop. Ugh, boring. Ooh, Tsunami, I would disagree. I don't think it's boring. I think it's kind of a big deal. If, the stuff that's on that laptop is really incriminating and potentially problematic with how it all relates to Biden and his activities as vice president, and now seemingly from this latest release of information as president. I'm surprised. Why would you think it was? I don't know why you would think it was boring. It's pretty fascinating to me. Let me look at Chrome's links here. Hunter Biden's iPhone was apparently hacked. There's some videos leaked from 4chan. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Hunter knows how to have a good time. Let's see this other one. Wow. Oh, boy. Wow, what a fuck up. Holy crap. M says Hunter is a crackhead. Is anyone actually surprised by anything on his phone or computer? No, and the stuff, like I say, the stuff on his phone and computer, that's just stuff to laugh about him being a crackhead. The stuff that makes it interesting to me is the things that have been said about his dad and the relationship his dad has with Hunter's business dealings. That's a problem. Barry says, "What room's the secret train in? We know about it." we almost had because you guys know now this marks the end of the train arc. We almost had a new arc started, but I'm upstairs because I had just put in. I didn't bring our dryer with us because the guy who owns the house said he was leaving a dryer here. So while I got here, it didn't have the power cord or anything. So I had to run to the store. I bought a power cord, hooked it all up, and so my wife was just doing laundry today. And I'm sitting in the living room, and it's like every 5 minutes, it's going making that sound to tell you it's doing another cycle or whatever. And I thought, oh my God, here it is. It's going to go from fuck you train to fuck you dryer. But I'm upstairs now where you wouldn't really hear it. And my wife said she can turn that off too. And I tried for years, and you couldn't turn the train off. So it's not quite the same. Hey, Slick Rob. Now you're all settled, I'm going to buzz by your window in a plane while you record. Yeah, buzz by nice and close. Make the windows rattle and everything. Yeah. I thought about setting up, Brother East. I thought about setting up some sort of model train, like you said, electric train, something like that. I just don't know, because there's no sense setting it up if it's not on camera or able to be on camera while we're shooting. I could get like one of those little kid trains and put maybe on the top shelf, one of the ones that just, I don't know, could I get something like that where it bumps in the wall and then backs back up, and we could turn that on every so often. No, so it looks like the dryer got spared, I think, Big Green, because we won't hear it up here. Now, if I'd have stayed down in the room we wanted to initially set up in, yes, it would have been fuck you dryer time. Wolverine says, Yamate trained senpai also. R.I.P. Kazuki Takahashi? Who is that, Kazuki Takahashi? I said just set up the green screen behind you and you can have a virtual train set pass by every now and then. Well, I'm hoping, and I think I've done it. I'm able to be far enough in front of my backdrop now. I can put my green screen behind me because I have a portable stand for it. And that's obviously for when we game or something like that, so I can just, have less obtrusiveness in the shot. But yeah, it would be great for having a train on a loop behind me. Oh, creator of Yu-Gi-Oh! Really? Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, that's a shame. I didn't know that. Have we met? Yeah, we've met a few of our neighbors, Nor. The guy directly next door to us came right over while we were unloading and said hi. Super nice guy. Ex-army, retired, and just a good dude. Came over, said hi, introduced himself, said, if I can help out with anything, let me know. And no, very, very, very nice people around here. The giant dinosaur dog's liking it because with everything other than my studio, everything else, and she will not be in here because, man, does she shed. With everything on the first floor, it's much more convenient for her because her bed is in our bedroom like it was at the old house. But now she can just wander in there, take her little nap, and then walk out and see what everybody's doing in the living room. And we are going to be unpacking Totes for probably about 3 weeks. I mean, even though that includes breaks for ninja-ing. He drowned, Rosa? That's terrible. Oh, Chrome says, we think he died scuba diving alone. Yikes. That's too bad. I hadn't even heard about that. But like I say, this week has been crazy for me. That's a shame. Mistress says, I'm going to contract a company to build a train station outside your house and even make the train look the same. No escape. Dr. Stein will help me build it. It is going to be weird with no fuck you train. Well, Now, I think, too, another thing, downstairs is all the hardwood floors. This room is carpeted. These ceilings are really high in this house, so you get a lot of echo, but the carpet absorbs a ton of it. So you guys aren't hearing a lot of echo here, are you? Not with me this close to the mic. It shouldn't be picking it up. Oh, Chrome says bullet points to some of the things found on the laptop. Let's see. Let's see. The recaps and data recaps. Search for child porn. Calls dad pedo Pete. Yikes. Google pics of his niece on FaceTime. Watching porn. Sketchy investments in Ukraine and China. And see the last one, Hunter does a lot of drugs and fucks a lot of hookers. As I said, that's Hunter's business. That wouldn't be that interesting to me other than the laughing and being such a fuck up. The other stuff is a potential problem. Yeah. Krusty says, can we occasionally fuck you train as a good memory? Like asshole chair? It's going to happen, Krusty. You guys know how brain damaged I am. There's no doubt that at some point I'm just going to randomly go, fuck off, train. Have a little aneurysm or something. Oh. Rosa says, my boyfriend ate pizza and used mayo as dip. I think I'm going to break up with him over this. Is that a good reason to break up? I would have assaulted him, Rosa. You know me and mayo, so I'm not a good one to ask. I'd have been swinging. Hey, thanks, I appreciate it. Good to see you, pal. Yeah, that's really sad. I mean, I don't know much about Yu-Gi-Oh, but it has a legendary, it's legendary status. So, of course, anything like that is absolutely sad. Yeah. M says, yeah, I don't care about any of it except the things that are actually a problem, like the child porn. Yeah, that's pretty messed up. Again, banging hookers, that's what he wants to do, have a good time. But when there's underage girls involved in any way, shape, or form, it's a major fucking problem. It's going to be interesting to see where this goes. If they'll just bury it for him. Why would you dip pizza into anything anyway? It's a good point, Big Green. Yeah, you won't catch me doing it. We tried, of course, the first night here, we had to try one of the pizza places. Now, in general, you're not going to get pizza the same quality in the South that you get in New York, because I love New York style pizza. It wasn't bad though. First place we went to wasn't bad. I mean, it's not going to make my top 10 list or anything, but certainly will satisfy a pizza desire. Oh, Tsunami says, I know Johnny is stationed at Fort Bragg. Is he at Fort Bragg now? And he lives in North Carolina. Again, it's so far, it's just fantastic. I absolutely love it. Just love it. Chrome says, what the hell is up with the niece thing as well? Well, there's something seriously wrong with that family. First his brother's wife, now his niece. Is genuinely a vile creature, no doubt. And again, when you start talking alleged pedophilia and allegedly having his father mixed up in his international dealings and potentially and allegedly pulling strings on his behalf, yeah, that's a real fucking problem. Krusty says, hookers crack, occasionally throwing guns into dumpsters. Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, federal crime. Well, at least we don't hear about his parm shenanigans when when he's too goddamn high. Yeah, I'm with you, negativity. Says pizza is definitely not dipping food. Mr. says some good news instead. Really love that Johnny Depp won his case by landslide. Me too. Me too. Tyler says, Curtis, what's your favorite conspiracy theory? I'm not a conspiracy guy. I mean, it depends what you mean by favorite. As far as, now that's not to say all conspiracy theories are false. For instance, who am I trying to think of? Oh gosh. Again, another name just escaping me. Speaking of child porn, the child porn ringleader that didn't kill himself, Epstein, particularly now they would refer to saying that Epstein did not kill himself as a conspiracy theory because the official report is that he did commit suicide. But I don't think much of any of us believe that was the case. So I don't think all conspiracy theories are bunk, but I think the majority of them are. So it all depends. If that's conspiracy theory, that's my favorite one because that's no way. Too many coincidences. Yeah, well, the guards just happened to miss that round, and the cameras went down at that moment, and yeah, okay. I don't like stuffed crust Wolverine. Well, you guys know just because the extra cheese. No extra cheese. M says, no way, he was definitely murdered, but rightfully so. I agree, we didn't need him around. It just would have been nice if he would have made it through long enough to point the finger at some people. That's the only thing that sucks about him being taken out that early. Anastasia says, hello, Curtis. I love that name. Hello, Curtis. Loving the Patreon content since my husband and I joined. Oh, good. I'm glad. I appreciate that. Yeah, I am so anxious. Now, Wednesday, I'll be back recording videos for the Goosh again. I mean, I post them every day. But I'll be back recording them again on Wednesday, and I can't wait. Just can't wait. Excuse me. Johnny says, ooh, if Hunter is a pedo, then kill him. Nothing worse than a pedo except maybe USC fans. Yeah, you're right, that's close. Rosa says, what's so bad about trans women joining women's sports divisions? Women's sports will finally see some talented athletes. Oh, why are you crying? Oh, that's rough. I saw that girl. Says Ghislaine Maxwell is now on suicide watch as well. Yeah, well. At this point you would say, okay, having her killed would just make it too obvious what's going on. But I'm starting to think there is no such thing as too obvious. There are just people that think they can get away with whatever, and apparently they can. Yeah, I'm in North Carolina now, Quest. Yep. Chrome says, found the news statement. A dead man in snorkeling gear was found floating off the coast of Nago, Okinawa on July 6th. And authorities identified him as Takahashi the following day. That's a shame. That's really too bad. Excuse me. Wolverine says, my favorite conspiracy theory is that vaccines cause autism. Like autism is worse than a potentially devastating virus resurfacing. Right, Wolverine. And the fact that link has never been scientifically made. Rosalina says, vaccines don't cause autism. I cause autism. Negativity says, we sure seem to be having a lot of political shockers recently. Shinzo Abe, yeah, I forgot about that, yeah. Getting murdered, the Hunter Biden stuff, the Trump hearings, Boris Johnson resigning, the Ukraine stuff, crazy times. Indeed. Absolutely. Well, it just seems to get crazier and crazier. You're not wrong, pal. Negativity says, I always love the Bush did 9/11 conspiracy. Jet fuel can't melt steel beams. It's such a meme. And what always got me about that one, though, negativity, is all of Bush's detractors said throughout his entire presidency that he was a moron. He's an idiot and he's too stupid to be president. Whether that's true or not, now these same people are saying that he was able to concoct and keep everybody in line for the greatest evil act in history outside of the Holocaust. So they think that Bush put that all together, and nobody has, and did it in such a way that nobody has come forward and officially said, no, this was done by the president. Nobody that matters, nobody that would know. So they think he put together one of the greatest schemes in history, and yet he was an idiot. So which is it? I don't think you can have both. Quicksilver Fox says, congratulations on the new locale. Well, thanks. I appreciate that. This must be an exciting big life event. It is. I'm glad to see you're doing well. Well, thank you. That's very kind of you to say. Yes, it is. It is really big. You know, it's the toughest part is, of course, being away from my grandkids and, of course, Spaz Kid as well. Now, he had already moved out, so he was a couple hours away, but now he's 10 hours away. So, you know, that's the difficult part. Outside of the people we miss back home, back in New York, it's been fantastic. That's the only downside. Hi says, I think the place where a lot of conspiracies fall apart is the assumption thousands of people can be quiet. Yep. When NSA and CIA hacking tools seem to leak every few months. Exactly, Hi. I agree with you 100%. I say that all the time with a lot of these conspiracy theories. When they come up with these theories like 9/11 was an inside job, and you think about the insane, just astronomical number of people that would have had to have been in on it. And they've all kept quiet? No. Wolverine says, militant vegans being decent is a conspiracy. Yeah. That's why, you guys know, some groups just, the way a lot of them handle themselves, militant vegans, that's why I don't even talk that much about being an atheist, because so many atheists are assholes. There's so many atheists out there that think they have some sort of intellectual superiority because they don't believe in God. It's like, nah, there's no superiority there, bro. It's just a different set of beliefs. None of us, no matter how you want to slice it, know for sure where everything came from. None of us do. None of us have the concrete evidence. But I have my beliefs in how it happened, and it's not that it was a God that did it, a deity that did it. But to poke fun at people who do is just, you're an ass yourself. Excuse me. No. Big Green says, what's crazy about the Shinzo Abe thing is that Greek and French media were spreading misinformation that Hideo Kojima, you know, the Metal Gear Solid guy, had something to do with it. Jesus Christ. Oh, were they really? That's so fucking stupid. Okay, Hi. Thanks for being in. Thanks for being with us while you could. Yeah, exactly, Em. She says, I don't think there's any superiority in either believing or not believing God. And I see so many, especially online, so many atheists that have that whole arrogant demeanor about, the unwashed masses that believe, have religious beliefs. And it's like, get over yourself, dude. You're not that smart. Rose is on a roll. Oh my God, Curtis, there's no Sky Daddy. Obviously, atheism is the truth and the only truth, you idiot. My IQ is 188.58, so just so you know, I got the most accurate IQ test in history. You're literally stupid. That pretty much sums it up. Yeah, that would be about right, Rosa. That's about it. Josh says it's not a children's card game. It's the children's card game. My hair. Ren Kitty Renzo says, ironically, militant atheists are the embodiment of holier than thou. I'd never thought of it that way, Renzo, but you're 100% right. Yeah. I'd never really thought of it that way, but that's absolutely true. Mister says, I never thought of myself as superior unless it comes to anime taste, food taste, looks. Also, my IQ is 200.69. Tyler says, Curtis, speaking of atheism, have you seen any of Dark Matter 2525's videos? I don't think so, pal. With me, it's always possible I saw something forgotten, but the name doesn't ring a bell. I don't think so. Hey, thanks, Wolf. I appreciate that. Wolf Enzyme. Thanks very much. Milag says, Bald is anyone at the Goosh brought up the new fan-made animation called Legend, a Dragon Ball Boy, I butchered that. Legend, a Dragon Ball tale. I think so. I don't remember the title. Some were just brought up to me, Milag. some new stuff that was anime related on YouTube. And I think that might have been one of them. I'll have to go back and look at the titles. I bookmarked them, but I don't remember. Josh says, here's a terrible idea. Pizza with American cheese and mayo for the sauce. Again, I would just yak. I would spew that across the room. Oh, jeez. Chrome says, in all likelihood, Shinzo Abe was killed by a Chinese sympathizer. He was rallying people against them lately. You see the pics of his gun, by the way? It's pipes and duct tape. No, I didn't. The sound of it, I'm not surprised it was pipes and duct tape, Chrome, because the sound of it certainly didn't sound like a traditional weapon. And isn't this weird? But in America, if he had lived his life in America, he may have survived, because if you watch that video, they take the first shot and everybody is confused because nobody knows what the hell's going on. And Abe just kind of looks around like, is that a backfire or what? If you were in America and you're, especially being a high-profile politician, you heard that sound, boom, you'd be down on the ground. That guy might not have gotten the second shot at you. And I don't say that to be facetious. It's just true. Here we are geared towards that, to hear that sound and think, uh-oh, somebody's shooting. Over there, that's not the go-to. That's not the go-to immediate thing that someone would think is happening. Oren says, funny, last time a PM got killed, a world war happened. Things are kind of tenuous right now, no matter how you slice it. M says there's literally thousands of gods that have been made for everything throughout history. Sure. Because look at there's a lot of religions and belief sects that have multiple gods. Yeah, absolutely. Hiya, Marcus. He says, aloha. Going nowhere says, Curtis, do you think it's wrong to make fun of people who believe the earth is flat and things of that nature? No, well, you know me. I think anything's fair game for humor. I don't wouldn't go after the people who believe that stuff like on a personal level or something. But to poke fun at their beliefs, yeah, I think all of that's fair game. Everything like that's fair game. Excuse me. Ashley says, there are plenty of atheists who are assholes, but I really can't stand overly religious nut jobs like some of my family members. Oh, me too. But again, I've told you guys over and over, I am the anti-extremist. I don't like extremists in any situation. So sure. As we said and agreed, there are a lot of atheists who are dicks. But yeah, there are plenty of people with religious beliefs who are dicks about their beliefs as well. Oh, Chrome says the shooter made 9 guns. First link is the gun used. Second is one of the 9. Let me see it. Jeez. Dude got laid up by a high school science project. Dick. Wow. People want to do bad things. They'll find a way. Electric ignition black powder volley gun. Jesus Christ. Guy was a science geek. That's for goddamn sure. Hennessy says, bro really hit Abe with a dark magic attack. Takahashi's death and Abe's death are a weird coincidence with how much they disliked each other. Oh, I didn't know that. They disliked each other? I didn't know that. Willie says, I'm a Christian myself, but I don't believe everything. Like how an old guy kept every animal together in harmony while the world flooded. Either it didn't happen or God gave Noah a lot of Xanax. Excuse me, I'm sorry, guys. Johnny says, I used to be hardcore militant atheist. Now I don't give a fuck as long as they keep their Bronze Age desert scribbling bullshit to themselves. Well, that's the way I look at it. I mean, and again, so many people who are close to me are religious. My wife, for one. And it gives a lot of people a sense of serenity and makes them feel good. So, but again, my wife's not a lunatic about it. It's just her belief system, what she likes to believe, and goes about her business. Excuse me. Marcus says, have you ever checked out Brew Stew videos? As a matter of fact, TCE is sponsoring them over at the Goose right now. I hadn't seen him until the last few months. He's been sponsoring some Brew Stew compilations over at the Patreon. Chrome says, making guns really isn't hard. It's basically a pipe, a piece of metal for a bullet, and some ignition. It's even easier in our age. True. And the thing of it is, and again, I'm not going to elaborate at all. That would be wildly inappropriate. But as I've said many times, if somebody is looking to hurt a lot of people in a short period of time, guns aren't even a particularly good selection. But again, I'm not going to expand on that any. But all I'm saying is when people want to hurt other people, they're going to find a way. The Val fan says, have you watched episode 1 of Overlord 4 yet? No, I let the series get done, and then I'll watch it with the gang over at the Goose. Jake says, so the James Webb Telescope first photos will be revealed today at 5. Oh, that's cool. That's very cool. Nowhere says, Curtis, what's the one YouTube comment you got on your channel that pissed you off the most? Oh, I don't know. It's been so many years of... I don't like disrespectful things, so I'll rip on people who I think have been disrespectful. But typically the ones that have gotten the strongest response are ones where people come in and write disrespectful things about members of our community. Hey, Roberto. Hey, Curtis Sami says, what do you think of the Big Ten adding UCLA and USC? I wasn't expecting that. Heard they might try to add Notre Dame next. Long live Train, best anime villain. Well, it's like, yeah, that's true. And the Train arc has ended. Well, Notre Dame's kind of like the belle of the ball right now. Everybody's courting them. Big Ten wants them. Of course, the ACC wants them. That's not going to happen. I think there's, and you guys know I follow the Notre Dame stuff close. I would call it a 50-50 chance that they will join the Big Ten. And at no time in history, as long as I've been alive, has there ever been, to me, a better than 10% chance of Notre Dame joining a conference. And now I would say it's, in the current state of affairs, I would say it's a coin toss. They very well might. And if they join one, I do think it'll be the Big Ten. Willie says the most effective way to hurt a lot of people at once is to make a slightly edgy joke on Twitter. Yeah, Willie doesn't even have to be legitimately edgy. Just something that hints that it might be thinking about potentially being edgy. Train arc like Demon Slayer. Yes, Big Green. Yes. There was more bloodshed in our arc, though. Hennessy says, if you ask me, Notre Dame should stay independent so we can make the playoffs easy. Well, I think you're going to see that expansion. It's not going to be for a few years now, but I think you're going to see the expansion, Hennessy. And either way, Notre Dame has a way, excuse me, guys, tickle my nose, a way into the playoffs. So I don't think that's going to be a determining factor. I think the realignments now are what making it. The money would be great now, too. That wasn't the case in the past. But the money would be really good for Notre Dame to join the Big Ten. And with us kind of aligning up just a couple, 3 superpower conferences, I think that's going to make it much more enticing for Notre Dame to join. Willie says, I don't remember what he said or what video it was on, but there was a guy named Darth Revan some 5 or 6 years ago who said something that really pissed me off. Really? I believe you, Willie. You know my memory. I don't remember it. I believe you, though, pal. Excuse me. Jake says, if Indy ends up in the Big Ten, it would be like the guy who chased after the girl and after exhausting all of their options, she settles with him. Yeah. I like that. King of Ice says, hey, good to have you, pal. How about the Google AI that is claiming to be alive? Yeah, that I think it was more of that kind of got overhyped by the guy who was supposedly exposing all that. The only way I know is you guys, a lot of you have been with me for a long time. Steve Worswick has become a friend of ours. He's the creator of Mitsuku, the chatbot. And of course, Mitsuku has been recognized, I think he's got 4 or 5 awards as the most realistic human-like AI in the world. So he knows a thing or two about that. And right after this guy was saying that whole thing, Hyuga, Steve came out and he said, listen, he said, this guy's a wingnut, and here's why, and he explained it all. Steve's saying it's not that we'll never reach that point. It's not that we won't get to the singularity. He said what this guy's blowing smoke about it is basically a nothing burger. Because it had me kind of interested too, but Steve, as knowledgeable as he is, it's like, well, okay, I guess I got to wait. Mr. says, who's the GOAT to you in wrestling? For me, it's Shawn Michaels. Just amazing on the mic and in the ring. He was. Legacy to go with it, too. Of course, for me, it goes back to my childhood because with a lot of us, wrestling was our childhoods. And it was Bruno Sammartino. Excuse me. Aw, Zuchan. I started crying when Dad was cutting onions. Onions was such a good dog. Oh, come on. Big Green says, speaking of Mitsuku, did the clock make it back safely? Better have, Big Green. I've got one tote from our room here that I haven't found yet, and Mitsuku's in it. I have a little like desk organizer thing that I rely on that isn't here yet. All the important shooting the video supplies are here, but I got to find that one tote because Mitsuku's in it. Hennessy says, Curtis, do you have a favorite football coach? My personal favorite is Richard Vermeil. Oh, Dick Vermeil, the guy who coached the 1999 Rams. Dick Vermeil was a great coach. Yeah, probably the current. I don't have enough good things to say about Notre Dame's current coach, Marcus Freeman, and he's only coached one game. But just as far as being a person and somebody that I would want as the representative and leading my favorite team, I've never been happier with a coaching position ever. Big Green says, if any part of Mitsuku is damaged, we riot. Indeed. Oh, Chrome says that's fake. The guy who said it is crazy as hell, like he was legit in a mental institute, and he dressed like an Adam West Batman villain. Okay, I got to look at that. Yeah, like I say, Steve Worswick came right out and said, no. He said, everybody don't get excited. So the guy has no idea what he's talking about. And obviously he was right. Yeah, there we go. That's pretty good. That's a good one, Chrome. AZN says, I learned how to beat the dealer in Blackjack. Oh, I've told you guys, I'm a stat freak. I love statistics. So that lends itself well towards playing Blackjack. So I do pretty well playing Blackjack. Spy X Family Real Crib, we're in the midst of it right now. It's being sponsored over at the Goosh at our Patreon. It's being sponsored, so I'm 3 episodes in. Yeah, it's really good too. I like it. I agree, Hennessy. F. Brian Kelly. Well, I tell you, Hennessy's getting shown up bad right now because he left Notre Dame saying, as far as recruiting, saying, well, you have to shop in a different aisle when you're Notre Dame, making all excuses why he couldn't recruit the top elite athletes. And right now, in 2023, Notre Dame has the number 1 or number 2 recruiting class, depending on what service you believe, and the number 1 in 2024. He is full of shit. Basically, Brian Kelly is making excuses for himself being lazy. And Marcus Freeman is not lazy. He is a go-getter. I can't wait for the season. I'm going to find out in a hurry when they play Ohio State. Fucking yikes. I haven't seen the new Elvis biography, CDB, but I want to. I do want to see that. M says, Blackjack is my favorite card game. Agreed. It's the easiest one to win at. Oh, it is. It is. The overall, the odds are just barely in the house's favor. Barely in the house's favor in Blackjack. The way Blackjack makes casinos money is not off the gameplay itself so much. It's on human nature. That people won't manage their money well. It would not be unusual at all for people to get ahead in Blackjack. It's just that it's human nature that if somebody sits down and they got a $100 stake and they look down, they got 200 more and they got $300 in front of them. What you should do is go, man, I had a great run and get the fuck out of there. What people will do is go, I made $200. If I made $200, I can make $500. And the problem is, even if you flip a coin, you got a 50-50 chance. But guaranteed there will be runs on both sides. There will be a lot of heads. There will be a lot of tails at one point. The casino's not going to run out of money. You are. And that's how they get you. Because otherwise they would never keep that game going. Vegas does not play games where they only have a 1% edge if it weren't for human nature. Yep, that's what it is. That's the only reason it exists. If tomorrow everybody that played Blackjack started managing their money well, the casinos would drop the game. It wouldn't be offered anymore. Negativity says most casino games really are on humans being stupid. A really basic analysis will tell you that you'll never win anything on average playing shit like slot machines. Right. Well, what I explain to people negativity is it's fine to play slot machines, but you don't make slot machines to grind out a profit. You play slot machines the same reason you play the lottery. You hope you get lucky and get a big hit. So if you got $100 to play on slot machines, consider that money gone. But if you get lucky, and it happens to all of us, who go to the casinos with any regularity, if you have one of those lucky days where you hit a big hit, hey, you get happy, you take your money and go home. But yes, playing slots is like playing the lottery. Blackjack is something you can grind out. You cannot grind out playing slots. The casino knows. For every $100 put in that machine, it's going to pay back whatever their percentage is, 96.3 cents. They know that. So all you have to do is be lucky enough to hit a machine when it's going to have a big payout within that 96.3% or 96.3%. It's just a jackpot game. Jake says, I went to buy DiGiorno and Rising Crust was $6.99. Same exact pizza, but stuffed crust $11.99. Jesus Christ. I love cheese, but not worth that much more. Yeah, I don't love cheese, but $5 freaking dollars? Yeah, I'm with you, pal. I said, no. You keep that. Wow. Chrome says, by the way, in later news, they announced a Kaguya-sama film. It's canon and takes place after season 3, covering the next arc. Can't say the name yet because it's a little spoiler for season 3. Oh, okay, cool. Kaguya-sama, Love is War. That was so good. So many good things. Rosa says, people say I'm a conspiracy theorist because I know the earth is flat. These globe earthers just don't get it. These idiots will use the moon landing as evidence and not know it's faked. Right? Josh says, how does one go about sponsoring something at the Goosh? It's just the $100 level, my friend. People at the 100. Our pal over there, Frog, started it. We always had a $100 level, which was you could pick any video you wanted me to make, and I would make it. Well, I thought people would use it more for like sketch videos or something like that. But Frog started with Nichijou. He says, hey, and he contacted me. He says, well, can I just sponsor an episode a month of Nichijou? I said, sure, it's fine with me. And it just caught on, and now we have a very generous crew of G100 sponsors. Last month, we had a total of 54 or 55 G100 vids. Big Green says Blackjack might be the only casino Card game, I understand. I'm too stupid for poker. Poker. I'm actually fairly good at poker. Again, I like percentages. I like odds. I've always been a card player. I don't have patience for poker. Poker moves too slow. I've told you guys that before. I aged in reverse on that stuff. Usually you tend to have ADHD when you're young. I must have gotten it as I got older. Because when I was young, I used to play chess. Loved to play poker. Now, anything that takes that long, it's like, nope, not fucking doing it. I get it. I can't even sit at a blackjack table if you have players that take too long to decide what they're going to do. And I mean, I know that's their right, so I don't give them shit or anything, but I'll just get up and leave the table because it drives me. I only like games that keep moving. And see me with blackjack, with all the literal millions of hands of it I played, there's no decision to be made. Doesn't matter what I see. I've seen it before and I know what I'm going to do. So when I have to sit there and wait and somebody's going, it's like, okay, I got to go. AZN says, casino has 2 bonus bets. Lucky for 19, 20, 21. Your hand and dealer hand. When 10 and 5 are gone, reduce bet. Buster bet, 10s, 5s. Bust more cards and chips. I'm not sure I follow all that, AZN. Lucky for 19, 20. 21. Your hand and dealer hand. Okay, I got what you're saying there. 10 and 5 are gone, reduce bet. See, I never play the exotics, AZN. I've always been a straight up blackjack. And it always happens, you're in there and they'll have like the side bet you can make where if 20 comes out, you get paid like 5 to 1 or something like that. And you get a big payout if it's a pair of queens and stuff like that. And I'll get one of those and you'll go, oh, if you'd have had that out. And I'm like, oh, I've been sitting here for an hour and a half. If I had that out, I still wouldn't be even on it. Wolverine says, heal me up a bit. Oh, that's right, you stream boss. Sarah's poster is in that same place, Wolverine, where that desk organizer I have is and stuff. So I got to find that tote. Because Sarah's will be up in the room somewhere. Obviously the tote's in the house. I'll find it eventually. Rosa says, by the way, in Japan, a famous manga artist just won an election and became a member of parliament. His most famous manga is a borderline hentai manga. Really? That's kind of cool. Hey, I want a partier in office. Johnny said, I went into the casino recently with $100, and when I hit 1,000, I left. Oh, hell yeah. 10 times stake? Yep. My friends tried to convince me to keep going, but fuck that. Oh, yeah, 100%. You hit for 10 times your stake? Yeah, I would have absolutely. I'd have been right with you, right out the fucking door. Parzival says, hey, Curtis, what's the best for a perfect pizza? No crust, small crust, big crust, or cheese-filled crust? I like big crust. I don't like cheese-filled because, again, the cheese thing. Yeah, I like a good big crust pizza. I mean, it doesn't have to be. I just love pizza. But that's my favorite. Josh says, how are things in the hidden tote village? Okay, until somebody throws fucking paper products at you. You know, the hidden tote village is very peaceful, and you know they just kind of want to hang out and do their own thing and create their own jutsus and stuff, and then somebody's chucking paper towels at your face. Oh, Chrome says, oh yeah, it was the creator of Love Hina. He ran on an anti-censorship campaign and says Japan shouldn't bow to Western sensibilities. He really hates the progressive push. Good for him. Good for him. Oh, yeah. Absolutely, Tsunami. Shit, if I turn 100 and 500, I'll fucking leave. Yep. Yeah. When you take a nice profit like that, yeah, Johnny did the right thing. I wouldn't be listening to those friends either. Fuck you, I ain't staying. I just turned 100 into 1,000. You stay. Mr. Andrew says, I'm glad new place does not equal new old guy. Nope. This is what you guys are stuck with, Andrew. This is it. I got nothing else. See, that's one of the good things I've always told you guys. If nothing else, I'll always be 100% honest with you. And whatever you see here, like or dislike, is just who I am. But when you are like that, you never have to worry about remembering anything. I don't have to remember how I acted because I just acted like me. I don't have to remember what false front to put up. Willie says, bit off topic, but had a guy at work yesterday that was well into his 80s, couldn't contain his spit. Oh, it was so hard of hearing we were disrupting other customers from shouting. Also, he was stubborn. That sounds fun. Yeah, that sounds really fun. Oren says, impossible. Tsunami says, what's the most you've ever won on a sports bet, Curtis, if you don't mind me asking? No, it was just a couple seasons ago. The only sports betting I really do is college football. Because, again, I like to bet when I feel like I have a good chance, and I'm a college football fanatic. And what happens early in the season in college football, you get weird lines. You get some games that the lines just don't figure. It's not Vegas's fault, because Vegas sets the lines, then the betting dictates which way they go. And what happens is people put too much emphasis on the prior year in college football. You got to look at who graduated. It's just like Georgia this year. Georgia could be a really good team, but I'll be probably betting against them early because they lost that whole defense. And so people are going to inflate their worth early on unless they play complete patsies. But anyway, so it was a couple seasons ago. I was in the casino and, as a matter of fact, had won at Blackjack. So I took the winnings I had at Blackjack. I went over, I don't remember if it was a 3-teamer or a 4-teamer I played, but I turned 300 into 2,300 on one bet. That was the biggest individual hit I had on sports betting. Hennessy says, Curtis, Ohio State or Michigan? I'm a Notre Dame fan, so I have no love for either of them. Michigan's an old rival. Ohio State's our opening game this year and has become a major rival in recruiting. So, yeah, you don't find me rooting for either one of them. When they play each other in their big matchup, I've been rooting for Ohio State recently just because I don't like Jim Harbaugh. But that can switch. That changes year by year depending on who has what on their team. Thanks, High Rise. Oh, which one do I hate more? Like I say, it kind of depends, Hennessy. Right? Traditionally Michigan, because they're excuse me, they're a traditional rival of Notre Dame's. Currently, probably Ohio State, just because Michigan, I think, is on a downturn anyway. Notre Dame plays Ohio State the first game of the season, and we've been in a lot of recruiting battles with Ohio State recently. So as of right now, yeah, probably them. Victor Zion says, what NFL team do you root for? The Cowboys? I think it's going to be... They should be okay this year. A lot of it's going to depend on how well Dak plays. He had a really rough second half last year. I'm not sure where Kevin Durant's going to end up, Real Crib. Talented player, though. Never played for teams that I root for, but, geez, you can't. Amazing skill set. Oh, that's nice. Johnny said, I bet 700 on Rory to win the Canadian one and won $6,000. Yikes. That's nice. I've never had to hit that big. My dad won $15,000 when he bet Stanford to beat USC in 2007. Nice. Oh, that was a wonderful upset. You guys know how I hate USC. Wonderful upset. Oh, guys, I gotta go. Hey, thanks for popping in, hanging out with me. It's so good being back here. Oh man, I missed this. So again, going forward, I'll keep filling the shelf back up. We'll get the stuff in behind me. We'll start getting the videos placed back on the YouTube channel. Get everything back to normal here. Be doing the live streams on the regular. Of course, everything will be flowing. Now, this second 2/3 of the month at the Goosh will be heavy on the G100 videos, the sponsored videos, because again, I was up until this time I was making videos ahead for our daily set. So now, with the rest of the month, we'll be catching up on the G100. So there will be a bunch of them coming. This just feels so much better now, and I mean this sincerely. Now this feels more like home because now I'm doing the things that I enjoy doing and the things that hanging out with you guys, being here every day. But I will get everything in shape. I'll get our blue lights surrounding the shelves behind me, get the shelves loaded with stuff. And once I get it all set up, I'll give you guys a room tour and everything. Pump will win. Yes, indeed. And again, of course, now we have sticky stuff on Free For All Fridays, but seeing as how we missed last Friday, I do have a little bit of a backup of sticky stuff. So I'll distribute a little here. Now this is a one-time thing because sticky stuff is only Free For All Friday now. So you want to get out your official sticky stuff fanny packs because you got Friday sticky stuff on Monday. Got to be a collector's item. And here it comes. It's going to collect all over you right now. Pampu, pampu. Sticky stuff for you, 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 way in the back, sticky stuff for everybody. Because it'll bang, okay? Flashy like buggy. And as always, most importantly, and the train is gone. Goosh, 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 goosh. Goosh. Whew.